Hey, welcome to a Tuiri Monday. I still hope it's a day that you can enjoy and that I can enjoy too. Regardless, come on in for a moment. Let's share a thought or two in my little world. I was thinking about an event between Jesus and Peter, and I'll get to that in just a moment, which reminded me as I wandered through my annals of memories, such as they are, about something many years ago I hadn't thought about for a long, long time. It goes back to high school days when I was a student at Tulsa Central High. There was another young man there. His name was Alan. And we were not really friends, but we shared some commonality. We shared a common love of being in the singing. We both loved to sing, loved to be a part of the choral group we called the Opera Club. That was the choir group in my high school. We loved being a part of it. And we participated. I know during the time I was there, in the years I was there, I'd sing for different parts, try out for parts in musicals and so forth that we would put on in shows and so forth. And I loved being a part of it. Back in the day, just thought, I began to think I was something, maybe, really not that much. And Alan was a talented young man. He took singing lessons, was trained, he managed the music well. He was an interesting guy. We were very different in a lot of ways, and our approach to life, of course. But something that he said to me really got my attention that I never really considered. We were right near the end of our schooling together as we were graduating from high school. And I don't remember the exact day, but it was somewhere right near the end of our high school career, about the time we were graduating, as I said. And he and I were speaking to each other, and he said to me, I've enjoyed it. And I said, yeah, me too. And he said, seemed like we were always competing for the same part to see who was going to come out ahead. And I didn't know what to say. I never thought much about it. I hadn't thought about competing. Yeah, we had each tried out for parts and wanted to play roles and everything, but I never thought about it as a competition between him and me. In fact, I always considered him superior in his training and knowledge. He had a good way about him, and he could sing a variety of songs and had a good range in his voice. I was a hip pocket singer, not hip hop, hip pocket singer. I didn't know music that well, just loved to sing. Whatever came up, I'd give it a shot. I wasn't practiced, rehearsed, wasn't trained or anything, just liked to sing. Fortunate enough to get to sing a few parts along the way. And I enjoyed it, but I never thought about being in competition with him. Just didn't strike me. I learned some time ago, I guess, if it's accurate, that he passed away. That he moved, I believe, to Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, involved in acting in musicals and things like that, and quite a different crowd than my life and the turns I've taken in my life. But I heard that he died. It was unfortunate, I guess. I don't know exactly the turns in his life and everything, but I thought about that again here recently, that we took different courses, but he felt like while we were in high school, we were in competition, and maybe that's natural. But it made me think about an encounter between Jesus and Simon Peter. It was right at the end of the ministry of Jesus. You may remember the story in the 20th chapter of John where Jesus meets all those fishermen on the seashore. And after they have eaten dinner together, the miraculous catch of fish and eaten dinner together and all of that, Jesus has some questions for Simon Peter. Do you love me? And Peter's response, and it's quite an event, And then he tells Simon Peter about where his life is going and what it's going to be and how ultimately he'll surrender his life in his service to Jesus, to God. And as he does, it says, verse 20, then Peter, turning around, saw the disciple whom Jesus loved. We understand that to be John. He saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following. That's the one who had leaned on his breast at the supper and said, Lord, who is the one that betrays you? And Peter, seeing him, said to Jesus, but Lord, what about this man? And Jesus said to him, if I will that he remain till I come, what is that to you? You follow me. I know that sports and games of all kinds have a competition to them. It's natural. Makes us strive for something better. We try to win. That's a part of competition. That's not what we're talking about here. It's when we look at other people and we measure our lives and what we've been called on to do and to be, and measure it against somebody else, and we begin to say, well, what about him? What about her? Why doesn't he have to do it? Why doesn't she have to do that? As my youngest daughter would say, it isn't fair. It's not about fairness. It's just about what you were called on to be and do. And that's what Jesus is telling Simon Peter. Be what you are supposed to be. Do what you can do. In other words, just be the best you that you can be. And if that involves you to the point that it ultimately causes the surrender of your life, so be it. And if this other person doesn't have to go that course and he goes a different way and he doesn't have to surrender his life, so be it. Well, Alan felt like we were competitors, and maybe in high school that's the way it is. But when all is said and done, it's about each of us being the best we can be and just following our course, especially as it has to do with following the Lord. Today's a great day to be the best you can be. Follow the Lord. Do the best you can. And quit worrying about what somebody else is or isn't having to do. Just be the best you. Hey, thanks for being with me today. And we'll look forward to some more things down the road. Hey, keep the coat handy. Stay warm. We'll look forward to some things as we move along down the road. Thanks for being with me today.